I'm Pastor Mark of the Eternals Congregation. Moses and Aaron, the two leaders of the Exodus from Egypt. The book of Exodus 4:10 says that Moses said to the Lord, "O my Lord, I am not an eloquent man, neither in the past, nor since you have spoken to your servant, for I am slow of speech and slow of tongue." The problem here is that Moses is a stutterer. And in the verse 4:14 it goes on, "The anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, 'What about your brother Aaron the Levite? I know that he can speak very well. Moreover, he is coming to meet you, and when he sees you, he will be glad in his heart.'" Here the Lord is Yahweh, from the text is developed in a Semitic context. But Moses called him with the name Adonai, and for his Egyptian, this is equivalent to Atum, the god fighting against the serpent. This is the same symbology of the god of Adam, opposed by the serpent, and the same image we can find in the Greek myth of Apollo and the Python, alike the other Egyptian myth of Ra and Apophis. And that Lord said to Moses that Aaron, the alleged brother, is a Levite, so lacking the consanguinity and blood relation between Moses and Aaron, the first being a high priest and military leaders from Egypt, and the least an ordinary priest in charge of the hosted people. We can also notice that they profess a different cult. Moses the worship of the sun, and more, as we will see, whilst Aaron promoted the cult of the bull of Baal Apis from Canaan, as we find in Exodus 32 from 21 to 25. The relationship wasn't good indeed. In Exodus 15:20, we find that Mary, blood sister of Aaron, fans the flames in order to make her brother seize the supreme power. They also attempted to subvert by promoting the worship of the golden calf, realized with gold stolen from Egypt. So at the end, Moses brings Aaron up a mountain, whose name wasn't Horeb, just because it means highland, and kill him for military reasons, investing Eleazar, son of Aaron, as a new priest. And Moses, at due time, will pass his role to Joshua. Historians say that Joshua was born in 1375 before Christ, so the history of the Exodus takes place in that period. Joshua, a Hebrew transcription of Jesus, it is the Greek form, but with the same meaning of Savior, and the meaning is Yah saves, Yah, the moon divinity. Deuteronomy 4:24 says that, "For the Lord Yahweh, your God, is a consuming fire. He is a jealous God." Or at least, this is the English version. But the Hebrew Masoretic says that the Elohim are consuming fire that envy El, the solar god. What symbol was the bull? And this way Moses says that the sun will be devoured by the fire on the altar of Yahweh, the lunar god Yah, and his divine wife Asherah. Let's remember that the blood brother of Moses was Akhenaten, the pharaoh, promoter of the solar monotheism. So Moses is announcing an eclipse, from which it is possible to determine the precise date of the Exodus. That was the same case of the 9th plague, the darkness. If you want to know the precise dates and follow all the calculation process, you can find the answer in our book, The Honor of the Gods, The Untold Timeline of Genesis, accompanied by calculations, evidences, and details. The Exodus started when the city was quite empty, for the inhabitants were all out to the main temples for the festivity of the Nile floats. Later, the Egyptians realized they were robbed by the runaway workmen, and the pharaoh goes after them. From which we always see a long white-bearded Moses, while it was just a guy, 23 years old. Well, imagine that Alexander the Great was just 16 when he started to expand his empire, and his career lasted only 17 years. Then the caravan passes straight on the route to Aqaba, so avoiding potential enemies, and without passing over the mountains. Later they went north to Canaan. As clearly understanding, the nomadic phase lasted just a couple of years, and the whole Exodus just 16 years. So, what's the point here? The whole tale of Moses, narrated in 4 of the 5 books of the Torah, comes before, and not after, the age of Abram. The first trace is from an Egyptian exodus of semi-nomadic peoples, led by an Egyptian prince moving to Canaan. There they mostly disappear, and the story would have ended, more or less. We will see in a following episode where they have gone. Then it's the time of the wise Abram, born in Ur, capital city of Babylon, that collects tradition from India thanks to the father-in-law Terah and a collection of creation myths from the Sumerian Babylonian tradition. So Abram, and not Moses, is the most important religious sage of the Old Testament. His historical existence is reported by the Book of Enoch and other Qumran fragments. If you want to know more, subscribe to the Eternals Congregation channel and stay tuned for news. If you want to investigate the matter further, buy the book Dawn of the Gods, The Untold Timeline of Genesis on Amazon and in bookstores. Read it and discuss of it in your congregation or church. Thank you for listening.